I discovered that my fiancée drained the wedding fund her parents entrusted to us for her bachelorette getaway in Las Vegas. My response was a brief text, "Enjoy yourself." Then I contacted her parents, swapped out the locks, and called off the wedding. Now she's facing disownment. I'm Patrick, 30, male, and was engaged to Rachel, 28. Our wedding was set for 3 months from now. I thought our relationship was flawless. We'd been a couple for 4 years, cohabitating for 2. Her parents, Alexander and Catherine, are genuinely kind, down-to-earth people who adored us. They were thrilled about our engagement and gifted us $40,000 to cover the wedding expenses. Their only stipulation was to use it wisely to create a memorable day without falling into debt. To keep things organized, we opened a high-yield savings account for the funds. My credit union had a better interest rate, so the account was under my name, but Rachel had a debit card linked to it for wedding-related payments. We'd sit together, agree on vendors, and she'd handle the transactions. It was a system rooted in trust. This morning at 6 a.m., I was jolted awake by a flood of emails from my bank. A large transaction alert stopped my heart. The first email revealed a $18,500 charge from the Bellagio in Las Vegas. My mind screamed fraud. Hands trembling, I fumbled my password twice before accessing the banking app. When I saw the account, my world spun. The balance was $15.72. It wasn't one charge, it was a slaughter. Pending transactions included $18,500 for the Bellagio, likely a luxury suite, $8,200 for VIP table service at Wynn Nightlife, $7,850 at Chanel, $4,300 at Louis Vuitton, plus smaller charges for restaurants, bars, and a $500 cash withdrawal from a casino ATM. In total, $39,950 was gone or pending. Stolen. Panic hit like a tidal wave. I stumbled out of bed, retching over the bathroom sink, my pulse racing. Was she kidnapped? Was her card stolen? I was seconds from calling the police when my phone buzzed with a notification. It was a photo in her bridesmaids group chat. Rachel, beaming, held a shiny pink Chanel bag, wearing sunglasses indoors, surrounded by her 4 friends clinking champagne flutes. The backdrop was a lavish Vegas hotel lobby. Her friend Deborah captioned it, "Vegas vibes. Rachel's final fling." She was supposed to be at a low-key spa retreat 2 hours away. The panic dissolved, replaced by a chilling clarity. The Chanel bag matched the $7,850 charge. The lobby aligned with the $18,500. This wasn't theft, it was betrayal. The shaking stopped. A cold resolve settled in. I looked around our apartment. Photos on the walls, our save-the-date card on the fridge. The future we planned, funded by her parents' generosity, was obliterated for designer bags and bottle service. I picked up my phone, scrolled to her contact, and sent 2 words, "Enjoy yourself." Then I silenced my phone. The next hour was a whirlwind of action. I called a locksmith to change all 3 apartment locks, scheduling an immediate visit. Then I opened our wedding spreadsheet and canceled the major vendors. $10,000 non-refundable venue deposit, $5,000 for the caterer, $3,500 for the photographer. I absorbed the losses from our personal savings, a gut punch but necessary. The hardest call was to Catherine. She answered warmly, "Patrick, how are my favorite couple?" I took a deep breath and laid it out, calmly, factually. The bank charges, the Vegas photo, the drained account. I heard Alexander pick up the extension. A heavy silence followed. "Are you certain?" Catherine whispered. "Could her card have been cloned?" "She's holding a Chanel bag in the photo, Catherine," I said evenly. "It was posted an hour ago." A sharp gasp. Alexander's voice came, low and strained. "Patrick, let us handle her. We'll call you back. Don't act rashly." "I've already canceled the wedding," I said. Another long pause. "I understand," Alexander said. "We're so sorry. We'll deal with this." Now I'm sitting here. The locksmith just left. The wedding is history. The woman I plan to marry is 2,000 miles away, partying on the ruins of our future. I packed a small bag with her essentials, clothes, toiletries, her laptop, and placed it by the new locks. I feel empty, not angry, just hollow. She destroyed our life, and I unraveled the rest in an hour. She doesn't even know yet. Update 1: the explosion came, and the aftermath was seismic. Yesterday afternoon, my phone lit up with texts and missed calls from Rachel and her friends. "Patrick, WTF? My key doesn't work. This isn't a game. You're ignoring me? I'm outside our apartment. Answer your phone, you immature ass. My card was declined for a coffee at the airport. I had to borrow cash from Deborah for the cab. You owe me an explanation. The audacity was staggering. No apology, no remorse. Just fury that her key failed and the account she'd emptied was cut off. The irony of whining about a $5 coffee after blowing $39,950 was apparently lost on her. I didn't respond. She pounded on the door for 20 minutes. Then I heard her crying dramatically while on the phone. Then her parents arrived. Alexander texted, "We're 5 minutes away. Is she there?" I confirmed she was. Through the peephole, I saw Catherine step out of their car, her expression like granite. Alexander looked weary beyond his years. "Rachel, get in the car," he said, his voice eerily calm. "Dad, why are you here? Patrick locked me out. He's lost it," she yelled, jabbing a finger at my door. "He didn't have to," Catherine said, her voice quivering with rage. "We saw the bank statement, Rachel. The hotel, the bags, everything." Rachel's face paled. "It was a mistake. The trip got out of hand. It's just money. We can replace it." "With what?" Alexander roared. "Your part-time boutique job? That'll cover the interest in, what, a century. We gave you that money for a wedding, for a future, and you threw it in our faces. In Patrick's face. Get in the car before you humiliate us further." She climbed in, looking diminished for the first time. An hour later, Alexander called. He apologized profusely, saying Rachel claimed she deserved the trip and thought everyone was overreacting. Her parents laid down the law. She's to move into their basement, get a second job, and repay every cent of the $40,000. They confiscated her car keys and credit cards. Then came the social media onslaught, led by Deborah. A vague Instagram story rambled about breaking free from toxic control and celebrating your worth, even if petty people don't understand. My inbox became a sewer of insults from their friends. Oddly, it didn't faze me. Today, I boxed up Rachel's belongings. Each item, a rehearsal dinner dress, a Mrs. Adams mug, felt like a relic. I didn't feel sorrow, just detachment. 32 boxes now line the wall. "Alexander is coming with a U-Haul tomorrow," he called, his voice heavy. "Patrick will cover the lost deposits. It might take a week to sort out, but you won't lose a dime because of her. I promise." That meant more than an instant payment. It felt sincere. Update 2. I thought the storm had passed. I was mistaken. The last 2 weeks revealed the depths of entitlement when fueled by enablers. Alexander picked up Rachel's things as planned. A quiet, grim affair. Last week, a $18,500 cashier's check arrived, labeled simply, "Our apologies." I thought that closed the chapter. Then Rachel and Deborah escalated. First, a police officer knocked on my door, Rachel trailing behind, playing the victim. She claimed I'd had a mental breakdown and illegally locked her out, endangering her belongings. I stayed composed, inviting the officer inside. I showed him the lease in my name, the bank statement with the Vegas charges circled, and the Instagram photo. The officer's expression soured. "Ma'am, this is a civil matter, not an eviction," he told her. "Sort it out in court." Rachel's act collapsed. Next came a lawyer, Deborah's father, a personal injury attorney. His letter was cunning, alleging that our 2-year cohabitation and engagement constituted a domestic partnership. It claimed I'd abruptly ended the relationship, causing Rachel severe emotional and financial harm, and demanded $50,000 to rebuild her life. A blatant money grab wrapped in legal jargon. I sent the letter to Alexander, who called immediately, horrified. "Patrick, I had no idea. This is Deborah's father. He's a bottom feeder. I didn't want a prolonged battle. I wanted it done." So I drafted a response to the lawyer. Subject, demand letter on behalf of Rachel. Dear Mr. Name, I received your letter dated date. Your client's claim of a domestic partnership and damages is noted but ignores critical facts. Attached are a bank statement showing your client's $39,950 in unauthorized expenditures from a wedding fund gifted by her parents. A sworn statement from Alexander and Catherine, confirming the funds were for a wedding, that Rachel contributed nothing, and that they hold her accountable for repayment. Screenshots of social media posts where your client and her friends boast about the lavish spending. Your client's distress stems from her own fraudulent actions, not my response to them. I've incurred losses from non-refundable deposits, which her parents have covered. Any further pursuit of this baseless claim will prompt a countersuit for harassment and a complaint to the state bar for advancing a knowingly frivolous case. This matter is closed. Sincerely, Patrick IC. Alexander. No response has come. The silence is resounding. Final update 6 months later. I'm sharing this final chapter because people asked for closure, and I think I found it. My legal response worked. Alexander later said he confronted Deborah's father, who dropped Rachel as a client, citing a conflict of interest. The case died. Life settled into a new rhythm. The apartment felt vast at first. I sold our shared couch and bought a new one. A small but meaningful change. I erased the traces of us and reclaimed the space as mine. Rachel never contacted me directly. My number remains blocked. The social media attacks fizzled when I ignored them. Apparently, it's no fun targeting someone who doesn't engage. Alexander, who checks in monthly, filled me in. Rachel's world unraveled spectacularly. Her friendship with Deborah ended in a fiery argument over blame. She lasted 2 months in her parents' basement before rebelling against their rules. No car, a tight budget, a second job as a server, and moved out. She now shares a cramped apartment with 2 roommates, works as a waitress, and, per Alexander, is buried in credit card debt chasing a lifestyle she can't sustain. She hasn't repaid her parents a cent. Their relationship, he says, is effectively over. Not a formal disownment, but an emotional one. A quiet tragedy. As for me, I'm doing well, better than well. I used the $18,500 from Alexander and my honeymoon savings for a 6-week solo trip. It was a cleansing reset, washing away the last of the resentment. The truest revenge, I've learned, isn't destruction. It's thriving. It's my peace, my financial security, my forward momentum while Rachel's life crumbles under her own decisions. She didn't need my help to fall. She managed that alone. One last moment stood out. Last week, I saw her at a downtown coffee shop. She didn't notice me. She looked exhausted, her designer outfits replaced by a faded jacket. She ordered a plain coffee, paying with crumpled cash. She wasn't a villain or a caricature, just a woman facing the ordinary, grinding fallout of her reckless choices. I felt a flicker of pity, not anger. Then I finished my drink and left without looking back. I keep one memento, the original bank statement. It shows the $40,000 deposit from her parents, a symbol of trust, and below it, the list of indulgences. The Bellagio, Wynn Nightlife, Chanel, Louis Vuitton. It's a reminder that character shines when someone thinks they're untouchable with a limitless card. And sometimes, justice isn't loud or vengeful. It's the quiet, unyielding truth of a bank statement.